Good morning, traders. Are you guys ready for another action-packed show? I'll tell you what, guys, already cashing in over $500 on one trade this morning. And it was a penny stock. Let's talk a little bit about it. Let's get to the show. Let's get right to the trading action. We'll talk a little bit about the playbook, the sunrise, but it's all about the action here. That's what you guys are here for. It's about the trading. Let's get to it. Let's see what we can come up with today. It's good to see you guys out there. Let's get it started. It's Trade the Pool.
Wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money. It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at.
What's going on out there, traders? It's good to see you guys, and good morning to you guys. Let's get to it. Shout out to the Heat winning last night, and got to keep it going. Got to keep it going. Just like we got to keep it going right here. Nice win yesterday, was in the green, and a lot of it due to Tesla. Tesla short. I will say that I got out of Tesla a little bit early, as I got it at 239. Eventually went all the way to 231. So missed an extra 8 points there. I will say maybe covered a little bit early. Still made over $600 on that trade. So not going to be mad about it. Now just got to keep battling and seeing what we can come up with today. What's the green today? Well, I'll tell you what, guys, a swing trade already in the green. Baba already in the green here. We'll continue to watch it. This morning it was up past 103, so we'll look to see if that can continue making a move here. Not looking too bad at all, guys. This morning was able to make a nice little trade this morning. About let's say I'm going to take the 25 off of that, so about like 530, 535 on the trade today on BKYI. That 25, guys, that's going to get cut out. That's a one of those trades that is not going to actually count towards my profit. So I'm not going to worry about that. But overall, good action today, guys. I started off with BKYI. But let's take a look at the swing on Baba. And you guys can see it. It's in the green here and pretty decent green, right? This morning, I was up closer towards 600. So looking to see if we can get into the gap spot, right? 106, 108, 110. Really, that's where I'm looking to play this up to. If I can play that up towards 110, that right there will be a nice $2,000 winner. Right now, I have a profit take towards 112. So 112 is the area really that I'd start to take it all and run. But before that, I could go and take the money and run it towards like the 110 area. I'm really looking for this to start climbing back, but I need to start seeing some nice up action. It's starting to look good already. Keep your eyes on FXI, JD. We'll see if those can really get going. PDD is another one that just started to turn. Let's see if they can get a nice move, especially holding 100 today will be a good eyes on Baba. All right, let's get to that penny stock there. A really good trade this morning to start it off on the main account and already making a nice little 500 on that. And that was BKYI this morning. And look where it's at now, 175. Holy moly, I could have held this bad boy and made even closer towards 2,000. But I'll leave that alone, right? I had at 1,200 shares. This is almost a dollar move here, guys. So it's crazy to think that, but really nice move there on BKYI as it's continuing now towards the 180s. And I played this early, guys. I played this as soon as I got in the morning. So let me show you guys the action there, the actual tape here. I'll bring up here the chart so that you guys can see the action here. That was this morning right here, guys. So this morning, right at around 6:30. That's normally when I get to the market, and you guys can see it here, 6:30, buying 1,000 at the 94. It went up there towards 115. It came back. I started seeing it hold that $1 spot, so I put an order in right below that, near that $1. Got the $1 fill there. Boom. Now looking for the push up higher. On the first push back towards the resistance, I kind of had to sell out half of the shares and make sure that I paid myself. So I paid myself there at 118 and then held the 1,000 towards 132. Could I have gone a little bit more? Yeah, it could have gone to 140, 150s, right? And kept that runner. But hey, I just wanted to make a nice little cushion this morning, starting the day right there with BKYI. All right, let's keep going. And there's definitely micro caps that have been moving as of late. We've been seeing a ton of these names make a big move. PFIE now being one stock that got a nice little jump. I saw this morning Lucy, of course, had a reverse split action and it's up towards $10. We'll see if this can get a bounce today. Not necessarily something that I like right now, but something that I'll definitely keep a watch on. Can Lucy start to recover, get back through 11, go to 12, 13s? Something definitely to keep an eye out for. All right, let's keep going. What's up out there, Bob? How we doing, Kevin? Obi-Wan. I need help if I can. What do you need, Bob? I'll help you out, man. BKYI, run. Let's go. Yeah, definitely. You came to the right spot, man. What do you need, Bob? I'm here to help you guys out. Like always, guys, smash the like. If you guys are new to the show or for some reason just joining in, say hello. It's always good to see some new faces in the chat. I'm ready to get after it. Ready to make some money today, guys. It's been a crazy one. DJT has been insanely strong, guys. Went all the way up there to 58 this morning. Now starting to pull back. I think at some point this is going to be a nice little short. The only question is, when do you come after it? Every time I've come after DJT, it's been a hard trade. Even when I get like first momentum moves, a lot of the times I get these whipsaws back. We'll see what happens now. Definitely looks like a head and shoulders topping action here, as you got the head shoulder here on the 15-minute. You got the left shoulder right here. And now you get this right shoulder, which really wasn't that big. So you could still come up in that spot, the 5650s. We'll see if we start to really break down here back through the 54s. That's really the spot where you really start letting go. We'll see what happens there on DJT. Does it go back to 50 today? It seems like it's pulling back to that spot. Nothing that I will trade, guys, because I just don't get a good trade on these, right? And sometimes one stock can do you well and one stock can do you really bad. And in this case, DJT is one of those names I just don't trade well. And I know it. I've tried it, guys. I think I'm 0 for 3 or 0 for 4. So that tells me enough right there on DJT. We'll see what happens. It is coming down fast here, almost breaking the 54s already in the pre-market. We'll see if DJT starts to pull back. Of course, this is the biggest earnings week, and we need to keep our eyes out on the earnings. We'll see what happens out there. There's a lot to take a look at, right? If we take a look at the calendar, I pulled this here just from Earnings Whisper, so we'll give them a little shout out. Of course, we got to keep our eyes to see what comes in. Of course, tonight we'll have AMD, Google, Snap, Chipotle, Visa, right? All names to keep an eye out for. Then you can take a look to see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow you have Eli Lilly, Caterpillar. Those all look good. Biogen, right? Riot reporting after the close on Wednesday. I mean, this is going to be moving a lot of stocks, guys. So it's not just one name, right? You got tons of names moving right now. And this is when you got to be careful, right? This is when you got to be careful, especially with swing trades. And we'll talk a little bit more about some swing trading action today. We'll talk about a watch list, right? Finding your swing trade. It's so important. How do you find the trades, right? And what do you think about SoFi? Not a bad one to think about, right? That's one that we've been trading since 10. I haven't really gotten the big win on that, but it's continued. Now gone towards the 1190s. Had earnings this morning, and I think it ran into the earnings. So everyone expected really good earnings. You still got good earnings, yet SoFi is pulling back. That tells me more and more expectations were here and they were high. It ran into the earnings and now on a little bit of a pullback. So even though earnings are good, doesn't mean that it's just going to always just break out to the sky. And I think at this case, it was more of about a matter that this broke out before the earnings. And when stocks break out before the earnings, a lot of times they're running it into the earnings. And now I think you look for deep time frame pullbacks closer towards, let's say, $10 and 950s on the pullback. That could reload at 10 and then start climbing right back up. So that's what I would be watching. I'd be watching for pullbacks coming back and breaking the 9 EMA, going towards $10, and then looking to see if we can get a recovery in SoFi. All right, we'll see what else is out there. I'm just trying to learn. I have a demo account. Yeah, Bob, well, let me know. You know, one of the things is, of course, I got the platform right here on the right-hand side. You guys see a lot of like order execution here on the right-hand side, and definitely take a look at the gainers, losers list, the watch list, things like that will definitely help you out. But of course, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm always here to help you. And we actually have a playlist that's coming out soon, guys. I know that we have something already on our YouTube that can help you, but we're doing something even better. It's in the works right now, Bob. So I wish you the best of luck. I know that you're on the demo account. Let me know if you have any questions. Of course, I will mention that the limited account is probably the best deal that we have right now. So if you're looking at what to take a look at, Bob, of course, I think the limited deal is the best one out there right now, especially because you can even get up to 50% the profit take in one trade. I mean, there's really no better eval, I think, right now than the limited. I think that, yes, you can go for the bigger ones and have more money, which is always a good thing, right? If you're trying to make a lot of money. But what is the kind of the best package to go after right now? I would say the limited. We'll see what happens out there, guys. Let's keep pushing. Let's see what we can do and what we can come up with. BKYI Run and Fun has given me more than one daily stop. Laugh out loud. Not touching them. I'm with you, Obi-Wan. Those are way too hard to trade. Sometimes names just don't trade well in patterns, and I feel like DJT is one of them. Tesla, man, what a day yesterday, pulling back to the 261, and we were looking at this at 273. So definitely nice short yesterday off of that 273 pattern, and it came down in a hurry. It bounced here at the 269. That's when I got out. Should have stayed in it for the big cut down that came a little bit later, right? By already 245, it was down to 267. So pretty good action there. We'll see what else is moving around right now. BKYI got up there to the 180s. It's starting to slow down. I don't think BKYI has too many legs more, right? I mean, it definitely got a nice little push there. BKYI now up there towards $2. Let's take a look at the daily chart, see where we could run into some resistance. You can see that we're into some resistance right now. So this 178, after this, you could go to the 250 area and $2. But I think at this point, you're starting to slow down around this 178. So I'd look to see if we can get up there one more time. And there you have it. Now you got a double top on the 15-minute around the 180, where it just seems to be fighting, right? So now I'd take a look to see if it goes for the third kind of rip, right? The rule of three. So now you got 1, 2, this will be the third attempt to get through that, and then we'll see if it goes ahead and goes for the breakout or a breakdown back below 160. So it needs to hold the 9 EMA now. It just curled on that, looking for the breakout right now through the 180. Let's see if it does it. If not, it could start slowing down here on BKYI. And of course, a lot of these that go through the $1, and this one started today at around 66 cents, 70 cents, right? A lot of these have a tendency of going through that $1 and then pulling back to that $1. So at this point, you're up 154%. Not a bad one. We'll see if it starts to pull back, maybe about 70% of it. So I'd look at 70%. That's pulling back towards the 130 and the 120 area today. We'll see what happens in BKYI. All right, let's keep it going, guys. How we doing out there? Steph, morning. Let's scout that money. Let's get it. FJF, Futu. All right, we'll take a look at some of those China names, of course. FJF, well, how you doing out there? Steph, what's on the radar? AREB, starting to come back. This is one that I was thinking about getting it along on 340s. It eventually did do a spike to $4. Now it's trying to recover that. So if you look at the hourly, you can see a couple of attempts trying to get towards 4. This one rode up pretty fast, but I have a feeling it's slowing down a little bit here. American Rebel Holdings. I don't know this one. It looks like it's a footwear and accessory stock. It's had a couple of runs. If it fails at 4 again, I'd look for a takedown back towards 3. But you're trying to load up here. We'll see if it gets going. All right, definitely going to look to see if the Qs can make a run up today. I know that we've had some down action yesterday, but looking for a little bit of a positive day today. It really wasn't the worst day yesterday. VIX not giving me the move, guys. It just pretty much stayed kind of trying to make the move yesterday, trying to make the move. Eventually came crashing right back down here, guys. We'll see what happens now, right? As it starts to come and work its way back. Can this get the spike today? I don't see it. But hey, right now the market's very shaky, guys. It's back and forth. Ford definitely taking a major beating. Let's talk a little bit about the playbook and, of course, the Sunrise report and the problems at Ford. Of course, this all has to do with supply of available unsold new vehicles. I think that this is what you focus on, right? This is 52% higher than 1 year ago, and Ford has an inventory level of 91 day versus a Toyota that has 34 days supply, right? And so at the end of the day, they just have too much inventory and they're not selling it fast enough. So now Ford coming down. I think this also might actually hit GM some today. So GM and Tesla are not necessarily the names that I'd be looking for on the upside, but we'll see what happens today on those names. BKYI just turned around there off of that 178, just tried to make that move there and now failed, right? There's the failing action. Now you get the pullback here. 160s starting to come back, could come back towards the 140 or 120 area. Doesn't look too bad at all. I'd like to see one more attempt go to 170, and then I could short it here. We'll see what happens. It's not a bad look here. I might just go short on this one now and then go against it, as earlier I made the money on the upside, right? That's how you got to be able to. You got to be able to flip. We'll see what happens there in BKYI. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Just 1 second here. All right, back here, guys. Sorry about that, guys. A lot of action going on. The door just rang. Everything's going on. Let's keep it going, guys. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. Let's go. So a lot of people asking, some people in the chat asking about what does Trade the Pool mean? Well, Trade the Pool mean it's about opportunities, guys. Nah, I mean, I didn't create Trade the Pool, the name, the slogan, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm working on what? The culture. The culture. To me, what's more important is the culture, and the culture that Trade the Pool represents, right? It's all about giving opportunities to you out there, the traders, right? So definitely smash the like. That's what Trade the Pool means to me, right? Opportunities. We're all getting into the pool. Who's getting out of the pool? That's what I always say. I know it's a funny saying, but the truth is that's what it is. We're all getting our money and we're putting it into the pool. Who's pulling it out with me? Who's taking that money? And who's ready to get that green? Let's see what we can come up with now. BKYI now towards the 160. Still pulling back here, guys. So we'll see what happens on this one. Still looks pretty decent here to see if it starts to pull back and then fails that $172 move here. We'll see what happens on BKYI. All right, looking around at some other ones that are making some moves. We can definitely keep an eye out there. The shippers are still moving pretty strong there. I'll be watching Picard today, of course. We'll look at Cat as they report tomorrow. Deere has been starting to move. It's up at 415, and I talked about this one for so long. Just keep missing the breakout. We'll see what happens there in Deere. All right, let's keep it going. That's a fact. That's what it's all about. Derek, yeah. And that's what I think it's all about, right? I mean, we're all just trying to get the opportunity to trade often, have money, and that's what we do here at Trade the Pool. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got today. LAC showing up there. SPY spiking here, guys. So keep your eyes on the action here. Market starting to get an up move here. And I think that we have potential for a good update here. So I'm ready to play, guys. I'm ready to keep a watch on there. I'm ready to maybe trade Google right out the gates. I feel like this one could get moving today and really start to lift off. Yesterday, I wanted to play this one on pullback, right? Did not play it. We'll be watching it today to see if I can nail this one towards 170 and higher. Of course, I'll be watching different names out there. I think Apple can get a lift today. They did put out Apple Intelligence. It's already getting a spike here right before the bell here. Let's see if it takes off here with the move out the gates. We got about, what, less than a minute here, guys. Market's already getting a big push up. So the VXX could be heading down right out the gates here. We'll see what happens here. Definitely back and forth action, but the market starting to lead here. Action to the upside, looking good here. We'll see what we get out the gates. BKYI already pulling back there, 150s now. So definitely a turnaround off that 180s. Pulled back here. Well, let's see if it reloads here. 929, 914. Let's go, team. Let's have some fun. The levels on VLY. Let me go ahead and hurry really quickly, see what I can do for you on that. Valley National Bank Corp. I think you're looking for a move back above the 970. You have a trend line, 2 approaches there. You definitely have a support closer down towards the 930s. You looking for a kind of a move higher. If you look at the weekly, you don't want to pull back to that 9 EMA, that 910. You're looking to take out the highs. The 983, go towards the 10 and really start moving back here towards 1050 and 11. Doesn't look too bad with the regionals right now. You've had 1, 2, 3 pullbacks. That's why I don't want the 4th pullback at the 905. I want this to start holding 920s and get there towards 975 and 10. All right, let's do it, guys. The market's open. Be safe out there, traders. Let's go. Let's go. Smash the like. Let's get after it. You know what time it is. All right, let's do it, team. I'm watching Google right out the gates here, starting to prop here at 169.50s. There's that push to 169.80s, almost 170 already here. So nice levels there on Google. I talked about how it could run today into the move here. Nice little push here. We'll look for a pullback, but good push right out the gates there for Google. Let's see if it can go red candle here, and I don't mind grabbing it here as it is making a little bit of a spike here. Apple pullback there. We'll see what happens on Google. Fake out on the upside move first here. Let's see if it tries to do a takedown through the 169 here and then starts to come back through the 170s. It looks good here, but just looking for a little bit of some red first and then want to go long on it. Let's see if I get a little pullback here to 169 and then it launches off towards 170. That's what I'm looking at right here out the gates. Looking at the sectors overall, and I'm seeing financials leading basic materials up. Down technology, down is technology on the pullback right now. Let's see if it holds that. There's Google to 169, held it to a key here. SPY though and Qs heading down right out the gates here. VIX getting a little bit of a spike there. I'm looking to see if the Qs can balance around the 494.70s here. Pfizer's another watch for me. Google pulling back already, back towards the 160, already to 169.75. That was a good outlook there. Didn't grab it on the 169 pullback as I saw the Qs just dumping there. It's hard to go long Google with the Qs looking like this, right? With the SPY looking like this. So I'm staying on the sideline right now. I want to go long Google. It was a nice look there, but the Qs overall just coming down too fast there. And I need to see the market come back. If not, it could start a little bit of a takedown. Pfizer's on the watch for me for recovery today. It has pulled back a good amount. The earnings were pretty decent here. So looking at Lilly and looking at Pfizer as names that could get a nice push today. So if you're looking at healthcare, this is one that I'll be watching. All right, nice little lift there back on Pfizer. First red to green action there on Pfizer. So going to look to see if we start to lift here. Not a bad one to watch here. Google pulling back there with Google, with Qs. The Qs coming down really fast here now, guys. So quick pullback there in the Qs. That's definitely affecting Google. We'll see if it reloads, if the Qs can reload. Now another takedown there in the Qs. So really getting the pullback right now in the market. And that's going to affect a lot of areas right now. So there you guys see it. Financial services and basic materials not looking too good right now, guys. Things are not looking good. All right, we'll take a look at the action right now. Leading the action to the upside, we got financial services still in the green, real estate in the green, healthcare in the green. So that's why I'm watching Pfizer. We'll see if it can recover here, but definitely the market taking a big beating. VIX now getting a little bit of a spike there. It doesn't look like it's is this going to be a continued leak? Not what I was expecting. I can tell you that, right? So definitely seeing that hard downside action here. We'll see when the hourly kind of holds up here. Right around the 493s, there is some support. That fills the gap back here. So let's see if we get to 493s. We're on the downside move right now. And definitely taking out lows. We're looking like we want to take out the 494s here in the Qs. We'll see what happens there. Google back to 168. So watching Google off the 1 hour pullback here to see if it can come closer towards the support, make the move right back up. But man, Qs are dragging hard here. It could be coming back to 168 today, and then we'll see the comeback trail there. Tesla, how's Tesla doing here? Pulling back there, did do a little spike there and right back down. Ford down big there. REB taking a look at that one, it's trying to recover the 345, trying to recover the 350s. Does look like it still wants a little bit of a move here. It's coming pretty fast at AREB. We'll see if it really gets the motor going. 350 showing up now on REEB. Can that make the push? We'll see what happens there. BFC making a push today, guys. Of course, I've seen this one make a push before. Strong day yesterday. Can it have a strong day two? It's trying to catch the pullback right now. Hold 2025. Let's see if it takes 2075 and really gets going here. Nothing that probably I'll trade on VFC. It is looking good there, though. We'll see what happens there. 2057s, now 2060s, starting to hold here. Google now at 494s, or not Google, Q's at 494s, just breaking there. SPY down she goes. Looking to see what bounces, but man, this is an ugly open, guys. Ugly open. A lot of red out there, right? So be careful. What's in the green? There's just healthcare, and it's just a slight green. It's not big green. So watching that action there, Pfizer looks interesting for me if it can recover. But of course, a lot of red action on this. Google holding that 169. I want to take the trade on Google, but the Qs need to come back. I'm looking at it that maybe taking at least a small approach here off the 168.75, but it's going to be more about if the Qs can actually make a comeback here. Here's a bounce here. So looking at it right now to maybe take a shot there in Google. Market opening up weak here. All right, guys, I just opened up one long there in Google. I only went 100 shares there. I'm looking to add it if it can start to hold the VWAP, but want to see if it can hold 169 right now. All right, looking decent here. Qs are starting to come back here. We'll look to see if the Qs can make an up move here. Google pulling back on me right now, looking to see if we can start to actually make an up move here in the Qs. The Qs don't look strong by any means, so watching that action to see if we can at least get some bounce there. Rejected that 494.70 recovery. Back through the 494s. Got to be careful here. Triple bottom on that 168.80. So setting a stop there. $43 in the red. Gonna look to see if we come back through 169.30s or 169.25s. I have 169.23s, so I'm long on Google here. Looking for the upside action to come back into the market. The Qs are pulled back. The SPY is really weak here. That's what I want to also see come back green. SPY has yet to have a real green candle on the 1 minute or the 5 for that sake, right? So we're looking at it. I'm watching the Qs trying to come back and hold 494. It can't for the time being. SPY approaching a new low here. Google starting to come back here. I'm going to take a shot here, and then I'll add and hold break even here in just a second. Looking for a nice little spike. It did spike there, but it failed immediately. So no add just yet. Looking to see if Google starts coming back for a trend line approach back towards 169.50s is really where I want to start seeing the push come. 169 is holding well, but now starting to pull back there, and the Qs trying to work their way back here. So they're trying to get going again. VIX is still looking strong though. Breakdown below the 494s on the Qs is the danger area right now. We'll see what happens there. There was about 1, 2, 3, 4 times to try to break that 494 on the 1 minute. If you come back there, watch out for the breakdown. But if it can hold the 494s, maybe we can reverse back here. Watching the action here, Tesla still pretty pulled back there. Watching also IonQ. That's on the watch today. At some point, that thing's going to drop like a tank. But it's been holding in pretty well there on IonQ. So looking around out there, starting to see some declining. And I'm going to go to some of these smaller names there. I have Google set up here, looking for the Google to come back up there. If I lose, it'll be about 40 bucks here. I'm going to set here a nice little ad here if it starts to come back through the trend line. So 169.40s, I'll add another 100 shares there and then look for it to really start making a move. We'll see what happens there. Let's go back towards the limited account. This is a smaller account that I want to take some smaller names on. EREB came back, pulled back to the 350s, kind of failed there. So DJT, I'm looking at that. That came back up. I think it's on an uphold. I'm not messing with DJT. That's a hard one there. LAC doing pretty well this morning. We'll see if that can continue here. And what happened to BKYI? Well, it's pulled back, rejected that 165 break, and could just start to come back down. We'll see what happens there in BKYI. It's trying to make the move back up, but it keeps failing here. What are you guys looking at in the chat? What's up? What's up? How are those smaller names? All right, just wanted to jump in and spread some positive vibes and news. I'd love to see it, and that's what it's all about. It's always good to see some positive vibes. Last night, I passed my 100K eval. Hey, no trades for me today. Did the work already, getting my little edge at futures. Hey, whatever works for you, Jan. It's good to see it. It's good to hear you doing well, man. And like always, I'd love to see that traders are working hard on their process and actually seeing the upside for that, right? So what's up? It's good to see you, Jan. And it's definitely good to hear that you're doing great. I would love to see the XLI get crushed. We'll see what happens. Lucy, I love Lucy. BKYI, big spike there to 174 here. Could go into a halt. We'll see what happens. Of course, this is already a 10% move, 12% move. BKYI on the halt action there. We'll see what happens. Nice move off the first move. Lucy, down, 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 right? And this thing actually halted on the downside. We'll look to see if it makes an upside approach. I'm not the biggest fan of Lucy today. I think the news isn't the best, but the truth is we'll see if it comes back through 10. 10 is the area that it could actually get me to look at it. Right now, I wouldn't be paying attention to it too much. All right, I'm looking at it. I'm trying to find some other trades. I'm not finding too much out there, so I'm looking around to see what I can see. Clean Spark pulled back to 13. That actually looks good if it can make a move off this 13 and start to push higher. Of course, this was on the playbook yesterday. Really nice day. Looking for a continuation. All right, let's keep a look around. I'm still watching out there, guys, to see what's making the move. I'm seeing the Qs starting to turn around there. There goes Google. So let's go back to the main account here. I'm going to get the ad here on Google and start to focus in and see what's going on here. But nice little first push there in the Qs. Let's see if we can actually start to climb here in Google. First little spike now could pull back here towards that area, 169.17. But it's looking like we're going strong here. So it looks pretty decent here. In a second, I want to add to this and start holding off of the VWAP, right? So nice little push there off the 155. Still really starting to try to push here. Let's see if it can make the move above the 170 here on Google today. All right, first push looking good here. Now starting to get to the 155s. Q's coming back. I like the way this is looking here. I'm just looking for it to go slightly red candle here. There we go. I like that pullback here. Now they could just take off here on the next candle here. Looking at the Q's to see if we get the continued strength. We are. I'm adding here, guys. I just added there. Now I have 300 shares. Looking for the push into the 60s. If I do get the 60s, I do want to add here. and just keep adding. But at that point, need to start holding break even. Now I'm looking for the upside approach to the Bollinger Band, which is this 169.72. If it can start to take out that 169.75, we're looking good for the high of the day, which is 169.90s. Let's see if we can get that push here and really look for that nice expansion above the 170. Here it is, 160 starting to show up there. So I'm going for a team. Just added. Now I got 400 shares at the 40s. Now I got to make sure that I stay near break even, guys. So that's what I'm watching now, just to protect myself, looking for the breakout above the 170s, which will put me into above the 100s. So let's see if we can start to really grind this higher. It just breaks out through the 170 here. All right, nice little push here. I'm looking for a breakout above the 170s, going towards like 170 40s here. Just trying to make a little buck here. A nice little $300, $400 trade here. Let's see if we can get it. All right, now up $100 here. Now going to leave a break-even stop. If it comes back and gets me here, so be it. But if it just goes for the breakout and it's just breakout city, well, we're looking golden here. So there it is. Set the stop there, break even. Now I can go looking at other trades. This is looking great, guys. Now 144, got 400 shares. So Google could make the move, right? If we look at it on a daily basis, the average is about $2.79, and on an hourly basis, about 60 cents. Let's see if we can get that breakout right here and start to go about to 171. 172 still in play here. I'm looking at the daily, and I want this to start approaching next highs. Right, I've already drawn this line. I've been waiting for this move. Can we get a move to 170s, 175 even? I mean, we have the potential. Pullback could be the VWAP right there. I'm on VWAP here, so looking for the breakout here. Nice little push there. 180s now looking pretty decent here. Q's pushing strong here. SPY recovering here. So nice little push off on the Q's here on the pullback. Now looking for the 496 to show up, but good levels here on Google. All right, guys, looking for that nice expansion. Can we get into the 300s above the 170? VIX dropping fast there. SPY and Q's strong here. Looking for the 496 though, and I want to see an expansion there. If not, we could come back to VWAP on Google, and I do want to go ahead and take some profits there in Google if we do come back to VWAP. So I'm just looking to see if the Q's can just continue through the 496. It's a strong move there towards 495.75s. Here comes 496 there, 495.80s. It's pushing strong. Can we get to the 496? And we stop right there. So watch for the pullback right here. I'm looking for the nice expansion there in the Qs, but we're starting to pull back here. We did hit close to that move now. It could get cut out here in Google. I just set a stop there at 169.69 here. Could get hit on the pullback. I'm just trying to stay in the trade, but if it does pull back, I want to take the money and run. Nice pullback there in Google. Now coming off of that move, off to 178. The Qs are pulling back here though. So I'm watching the Qs, especially on the 1 minute here. You can see how it's pulled back a little bit. Could come to the VWAP and then try to make the next move. I kind of wanted to stay in it here, but the key is just letting myself, making sure that I'm taking profits if it does pull back. Here comes Google on the pullback. Could cut me out here. There you go. Just got hit there, guys. So I'm going to look to get back in on Google. But, hey, good profits, guys. Good profits. Up 646. Looking to continue working. 9 EMA can hold here at the 69.50s. But the big thing is that I was only at 169.40s. If I was ways away from this, maybe I can go ahead and hold on to that. But I have a feeling I get the break-even move anyways. So might as well just take a little bit of cash here and keep playing. Let's go, team. Let's go. Let's keep playing. All right, AREB pulled back, didn't make the move there, so struggling on that. We'll continue to watch it. LAC trying to hold that 450 pullback, looking around to see what's making a move here. How's the China stocks? China stocks on the pullback today. Shows me more and more the Qs are struggling here, now coming right back down to the 495. How's Apple? Apple did make that move to the 234s. We could be pulling back here, though. Google still holding well on that 9 EMA attempt, right? So could recover here and then go through that 170. I think I'm just watching the Qs here to give me a signal. But Google looking pretty decent there. Just didn't get the big breakout and didn't want to risk it on the break even. Took the money and ran. Let's see if it recovers here and the SPY and Qs can make an up attempt. All right, what's going on out there, guys? BKYI at 195. Let's go. Got out of Google 169.80s. Hey, make that money. Yes, process over profits always. Stay strong. Yes, that's the hardest thing of like kind of day trading too. A lot of times you'll take a very good planned approach in the pre-market and then you'll miss those trades in the intraday market because we get too distracted by other plays, right? So a lot of times if I'm looking to swing trade, right, I'm looking at the industries and the sectors. So that's what we'll be talking a little bit more about that today, but definitely watching that action. Healthcare still staying in the green. So let's see if Pfizer can start to recover here as Lilly can lead the rally to the upside, right? So pull back to 900, 903s, somewhere in there. I'm looking for Eli Lilly to continue on the upside today. They report tomorrow, so I think it's definitely important to see this be a strong stock today. Could pull back here, back towards the 930s, and then start making the move. It's trying to hold the VWAP right now, and I'm watching it with healthcare overall. XLV holding the pullback here. Could make a little bit of a bounce today. 148.50 was my support on, of course, the playbook. So that's one thing that I'm watching there on XLV. Can we recover now? Google holding and coming back here, 169.30s now, 169.40s, exactly where I got cut out, right? So I can get back in here right off the 148, 150 level. This is where I've been trying to struggle with in the past, where I haven't been able to come back into trades. So I'm watching it right now. It did hit the VWAP. It's holding pretty well. Qs are coming back and looking strong. I like this Google right here. I would love to see one more attempt to the VWAP, but hey, Qs are looking strong here. All right, let's see if we can get one more attempt back towards like 169.25s, and then that holds and starts to work back towards the upside. That's when I could take the long there. I'm looking for at least some kind of pressure here on Google before I take the next push here. So 15-minute candle is going to be holding, and it's going to be closing in about 10 minutes. So I'm giving it some time to decipher here on the opening range breakout. IonQ starting to break down, and that looks like a good short for me today, especially if we go into the red action. But IonQ has been such a strong daily candle, now finally breaking down here off of the 18s. I actually went after this prior in the 16s, and it definitely caught me. So I'm watching the action today, but hard downside action there in IonQ. If you're looking for a short, that looks interesting to me. We'll see what happens on that. If it can come back to VWAP, back towards like 1740s, it'll be looking really interesting. It's dropping fast there, though. Q's holding up right now at the 495. Will we get the 496? I'm looking for that move to take the next trade, but right now, back and forth action. Google did recover there, tried to get back and hold the VWAP. Will the Q's come up? I just feel like the Q's are just kind of choppy. Could make a move to the bottom end of the range here on the Qs, and then you're on the bottom end of the range on Google. So I'm happy with staying on the sideline right now. Got 646, trying to make a nice $1,000 today and continue moving forward. Let's go, man. Let's make that money. Cleveland Cliff, all right there. Nothing crazy. Let's go towards the limited account, see what's going on in the small cap space. Right now, no trade on, but looking around to see what I can find. LTBR, clean spark. Now trying to come back and recover 13s here. Could pull back a little bit here if the Qs make a downturn. Qs are making a downturn, so just be careful out there. We'll see if it actually picks up. Google trying to hold in right now. The Qs pulling back there off the VWAP and it's holding slightly below the VWAP. Let's say if they recover and go for a 496 move here. It's trying to recover the 495. Hasn't made an attempt there, though, really, to the 496 since the recent rally. Google holding the 145 right now, and now the Q's coming right back up here. So looking strong on that first action. Let's see if it can continue here, going towards the 495 30s here and really starting to push. It looks good there. So I'm looking at Google again here. And go to the main account here. Looking at potentially longing Google off of this. Google coming down here. Q's trying to make the up attempt. Just ran into a trend line approach and stopped. That's 495.30. So looking to see if we can get above that, but definitely ran into a little bit of some resistance there. Holding well, just put in a hammer candy there. So looking at it right now, has a couple bottomings around the 169, and they went to the 169.27 there. Not the 25, but it's going to be more based on the overall market. Overall market here, kind of struggling. SPY trying to lead up here. Let's see if the SPY leads up. What's leading the action? I see healthcare. I see financials. Technology starting to come back there. Communications starting to come back there. Real estate still in the red. Utilities and cyclicals definitely in the red. Cyclicals trying to come back there. Energy trying to come back there. I was wondering what would happen with silver today. It's actually holding pretty well there, guys. Silver looking pretty decent there, closer towards the 8. Here's a push there in the Qs. Now Google's going to be looking a lot better here as the Qs try to make their attempt back up here. Let's see if we can get it. Q's still struggling. The SPY looking good, though. I just saw the SPY jumping up there. I'm taking a shot here on Google. Let's see what happens. It is pulling back a little bit on me. I'm going to keep this really tight here. I like that recovery there. Now let's see if it can recover this 469.50s and really make an approach to the up end. I will add on an approach back above my levels here. If it can get back to a green candle here, I'm going to go ahead and add. If not, I'll just hold off with the 200 shares. But looks good as the Qs are approaching 495.50s here. So looks pretty decent here. Let's see if it takes off here. Okay, quick pullback there in Google. Glad I'm not as big sized as 400 here. So it allows me to hold on this pullback. Looking to hold off the 169.26, only risk $50 on this first action. I want to see the Qs take off here. If the Qs take off here, I'm going to add here. But I need to see the Qs kind of lead the action here and Google follow. All right, starting to follow here is the Qs, and the Qs going up for the break. Let's see if we get the break now on Google. 3 attempts to break the VWAP. Now would want to see strong action and not breaking the VWAP here. So let's see if we can do that. I'm still holding in for right now. Here comes the Qs for the upside approach. And so the Qs pull back and the SPY pulls back. The Google's trying to come back here. There goes the Qs. Now there's 3 tops around this 495.80 area. Can we get to the 496 and really take off here? I think it's going to be vital. All right, guys, stepping up here as Google makes the first action move there. I added there. Now looking for the push. Let's see if we can hold here and really make the move. I want to hold off for like kind of 469.40s now. I do got 400 shares. Want to see if this Google can start making a move here. All right, looking good there on that first action. Now we start to get another lift here. So the Qs look great here. Let's see if they take it. It's going to be the 496. It's going to be important here. I'll go to the Qs to show you guys that. You see how we're going for that 496 move. We've tried this. Let's see if it takes off here. If we goes through that 496, I might take another ad in Google as I look for an expansion above 170. Here's a nice little push there. We'll see if I can get one more 100 shares. Here's 495, 93s here on the Qs. So they're going for it. Could pull back to the 9 EMA right now, which is the 495 50s, but I'm looking for that expansion here and to see if we can go higher. All right, looking at the sectors over here. Now technology leading. So now we got healthcare and technology. Two names that I kind of want to see at the top, right? So those are the areas that I'm looking for longs, right? So Pfizer is one of those. It still hasn't started to come back. I'm going to keep an eye on that one because I still want a piece of it, especially back through 29. So I'm going to set an alert there at 28.90s to see if it starts to work back. If it does, it's one that I want to keep an eye out for. Going back to Google here and focusing on that, 495.85s here. We got a small pullback, looking for the break up higher here, going back towards the 170s. Looks decent here. Let's see if we can approach it here. Here's 160s here, looking pretty decent now. Can we break the 496 there on the Qs? 495.90s here. Looks like we want to go for it. Let's see if we get it there. Here's the approach, 495.96 there. Looking good here. Google starting to go higher. I'm taking the ad there. Let's see if this wants to push now. All right, guys, now I want to hold this really tight towards the 50 spot, right? Don't want it to break the 50 spot. Really looking for the push higher than the 169.50s. Right now I have my stop closer towards 169.46. Not showing it, but really seeing it right there. Would love to see the Qs push towards 496, but if it doesn't, got to get out. All right, so I'm in the green here now, looking for the push towards the 170s. And of course, I'm actually higher size than I was earlier. So what does that mean? I got to be in protective stage here and focus on what? Risk preservation. That's what it's all about. All right, looking for that continued move. Tesla's still on the downside. So Tesla's not the area that I'll be looking for some positive there. Did see the downside move come in here and quick upside move here. So quick action. And we're getting a 10 a.m. number. So be careful out there, guys. There's a 10 a.m. jolts number that you got to be careful out there for. So I'm going to set a risk here at the 40s, at the 50s here. If Google comes back on me, you got to be careful. I need to go take a look at the number. I can't watch it right now because I'm just looking at the trade. But here's some downside risk here that I'm going to definitely be careful on. Don't want to get caught here. But the truth is that I could get caught on this downside move. Looking to see if the Qs can really take off here, risking about 45 bucks here. So keeping it smart, right? I could risk more, but the truth is I'm looking for the breakout. And if it doesn't come, it doesn't come, right? That's the truth. That's the way it works, guys. All right, seeing a little bit of some pullback there. Now going to get a little bit more of a test here. The Qs are trying to break to the upside. SPY put a big wick there, so just be careful here, guys. It could come right back down here. I'm setting up there. There it goes. It came and got me on Google. And look at the Qs trying to reload here. So it might get back into Google. One of the things that I've been trying to do more and more is getting out and getting back in. So there's the downside. I protected myself for the downside. Now I need to go take a look at the numbers. But really, I'm just watching the Qs action because it goes back through 496 and you could get the upside that I'm looking for in Google. Now we get one more pullback in Google. And you can see on the 15-minute, it's still holding well. Can't break the 169.25 still. If that breaks, it starts to look ugly. So I'm watching the action right off of this trend line and looking to see if it comes back and the Qs go back through 496. Let's go to that number here and see what we got here. I need to go ahead and find it. Go ahead. I'll bring up Benzinga Pro and go ahead and give you guys the news here. 496 coming right back. So Google's still going to be looking good for recovery here. Going to be watching for it, guys. I still like the action there. Just didn't want to be in the risk there. So we'll see what happens, but not looking too bad on the action here. Let's go to it. Let's take a look here. What came in on the JOLTS number? That's really what came in right there. So I'm watching it right now. JOLTS number coming in here. All right, let's see what we got here. 8:30. We got the I'm watching around for it. I'm not seeing much there. I'm seeing some consumer confidence at 108 versus 99. So that's actually good. There's a JOLTS number, 7.44 versus 7.9 estimate. So job openings a little slimmer here. And that could actually be a little bit of some red news, guys. So I know that I was feeling really bullish, but if I look at the numbers really quickly, that's a little bit bearish to me, but I'm watching the action. The action's bullish right now. Let's see if it flips and goes bearish. I want to go long on Google just based on the technicals, but if I read those economic data, I'm a little bit concerned, right? So that puts me a little bit on alert here. We'll see what happens. Will we get a hard downside move from this 496 or a breakout? That's what I'm watching for. Here comes that 496 attempt to the breakout here on the Qs. If they do break out, I can maybe go scalping Google. I don't want to go ahead and just get long right here because it could be a fake out on the upside and all of a sudden you're back to 169. If we do get that cut down, I'm going to be going really quickly long on the VXX. So I got to be watching here for a flip here, but the Qs are strong here, trying to go to the upside, but that number wasn't the best. It was a bigger job openings. And if there's more job openings, what does that mean? Well, there's probably not going to get those fills, right? So we'll see what happens here. It is trying to hold that 496 breakout here. Let's see if we can get it. Google now coming right back up, 496, 495.55. Of course, right now I just got out there at the 47, so it's recovering the 50 spot here. Looking good. Let's see if the Qs just want to rally here. It's hard to trust these moves lately. A lot of times when we're getting these expansions, it comes right back down. So that's where I'm watching it right now. I see 496 30s. I'm looking to see if we really kind of push here. Here's Google going for the move. I missed it here on the re-entry there on that last one. So maybe I should have got that re-entry at the 169.50s if I go back, hindsight 2020. But right now I'm just watching the action because the Qs are kind of pushing, but they're not ripping. So that's a little bit concerning to me, and that's what's keeping me on the sideline right now. Is it holding the 9? Yes, but it could break the 9 really quickly here. All right, so I'm going to go to the limited account here, and I'm going to go to the limited account and just take a shot on the VIX. Just take a shot here. All right, guys, going to take a shot here on the VIX to see if we get some kind of random spike here. So all right, that account's not letting me. I'm going to go to my main account and just try to get it there. I don't know what happened. I think I might have been trying to do a little too much size there. But we're already getting the spike there in the VIXI. Wanted to get 5220s, and it jumped fast there. So looking to see if I can get 5220s or at least closer down to this bottom spot. Qs are trying to hold in there. That's why I haven't gone in for it. I'm just looking at it right now, watching the move instead of taking trades off of the setups. Right, so there's a lot of setups right now, but I'm not taking it. BFC did come all the way back up there to 2150s. Now could be pulling back a little bit. We'll see what happens on that one. Ford back above the 1040s there. RCL reported today too, and that's actually coming with a big bounce back. So the cruise lines, big bounce back there. NCLH holding in there. I saw Airbnb as of late starting to get hot. So swing trade alert, guys. This is actually looking interesting. American is interesting also. It's actually on the upside action, even though JetBlue gives some alert to the downside and getting wrecked today. So JetBlue getting hurt, but yet UAL, AAL on the upside, DAL on the upside. Seems like there's best of breed there, that's for sure. Q's still fighting this 496, so we could still, at any moment, just take a quick spike. All right, VIX did make a down move attempt there. Now starting to hold in here. What's going to happen? We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 times attempt of that 496. Could see a spike coming in right now, guys. I'm going to take a quick risk here on the VIXI, looking to see if this starts to make a move there. I'm long at 52.17 here. It's looking to see if we get some downside back through 52s, and I'll be out of this thing really, really quickly here. Just want to make sure that I hold to that 53 spot. Looking for a quick spike back up here in the Qs to spike down through that 496. It tried that 496 multiple times here. Will it hold it? Let's see what happens, guys. taking some bets. That's what we can do as traders, right? So I'm taking a bet here. We'll see what happens out there, guys. Smash the like. A lot going on here in the action today. What's going on with DJT? It's been an absolute monster. Reporting today, AMD is right. How is AMD trading? That's an interesting one. There's the first spike there, looking great here, guys. So on the first spike, looking good here. I'm about to take an ad here in just a second. If I can get it back down below the 52.20s here into like 52.18s. There's 52.20s. There's 52.18s. I'll take the shot there, guys. I took the shot there. Got 52.18s. Now I got to hold tight here, looking for the spike. But if it doesn't come, being quick to take the money off here. Let's see if the Qs recover here. 496 is that spot where it's fighting. It tried to recover the 9 EMA, made a quick attempt down. Now trying to recover back up. Let's see what happens here. Back and forth action, that's for sure. Quick spike there in the VIX, now up closer towards 90, 80 bucks here. Let's see if we can get one more spike up through the 52.30s. Then I can leave a break-even stop here. 52.25s, 52.27s. It's already going for that move. At this point, I'm gonna in a second drop the stop here, and then start focusing on profits. Here comes the Qs for that breakdown. Will it do it back below the 496? Struggling here. Now we're getting the Qs to come back for an upside approach break it here. So just got to be careful. It could come back and test me here. I'm setting break even actually into the green there, 1 cent. So, hey, just giving myself the chance here. If it breaks out, it breaks out. If not, I'm going to go ahead and get out. All right, quick spike there to 52.30. So good look there. Now I can get stopped out. I have a stop there set. If it really starts to take off here, really looking to go ahead and take a nice little profit. Let's see what we can get back up there towards 52.60s is where I think it could get to. We'll see what happens. Q's trying to cut me down here. Now the Q's making a little bit of a down attempt here. We'll see if we actually get a spike in the VIX with this. Going to get a pullback right towards the 16 spot there. So trying to hold off 16s right now. All right, set to stop at 52.15, which is still 50 bucks in the red, but I want to give myself a little bit of room here for the volatility to work through and look to see if we get the Qs cut down and a spike in the VIX. There's 140s now. The Qs coming right back though. All right, let's see if we get a quick spike here towards the 52.50s. I'm seeing the Qs come right back down, and that's not good sign here. So a little part of me tightening up here in a second. There's the Qs coming right back for the top, so I'm tightening up here. I'm only risking $10 right now. Yet on the positive, if it goes in my direction, it's closer to 600, right? And I think that that's so important, traders. We'll see what happens here. Setup is there for the VXX. Now what happens? That's what it's all about a lot of times, guys. So I have their set break even, looking for the move, and there's the pullback. And it was wicked. It was wicked, right? So got caught there a little bit, lost 60. 60 is really good with 2,000 shares, right? So not even 10 cents there, which would be $200 of risk. This could still recover and come right back up. But the idea is to get ready there for the break. Could I maybe taken 200 off there? Maybe, but a push into the 52.50, that's $600, guys. So that's what I'm trying to set up there for. Make a nice little $600, $1,000. And then what would have been up? We would have been up over $1,000 on the day. So the setup was there. The Qs rejected it and now going to the upside. That means Google looks good again. And Google does look good. It's holding the VWAP. There's the Qs going right back up here for the 496 breakout. Now 496.50, so really pushing now. Google looking good here. Let's see if we can get a little scalp on Google. Google's going to be a little tougher now. Just watching the action here. Let's go to the limited account, see how that account's doing here. No trade on just yet. Looking at Lucy and some other trades to see what I can get into. Lucy still hasn't come back on the day. That one's definitely struggling there. VFC trying to make a move, but no move just yet. All right, we'll see what happens on this one. VFC, how's DJT? Donald Trump did go up and then back down. That thing is all over the place, and it looked like the Head and Shoulders that I saw in the pre-market held pretty well there. It rejected that 54 break to the upside, then halted on the downside there. It's nothing that I want to touch, though. This thing is just halting all around and doesn't look good. We'll see what happens. SPY coming back down there, and so we could have a couple of attempts for this VIX trade, right? And so we're getting that attempt right now to come back into it here. I think you got to just continue to watch to see what happens on the Qs and the SPY. BKYI, how'd that one do? It did go to $2, and now it's been on the downside and cutting down fast here, guys. So just be careful out there. Just as quickly as they go up, they come down. Glue is one of those, right? That thing went up massive yesterday. Now it's already back down to 9. We'll look to see if at 9 recovers here. It's a little bit of a spike, but nothing that I'm looking at the trade. UAVS, that's still doing pretty well there. So if you're looking at for one that's looking a little bit better, that's not looking too bad there. LAC already pulling back. LTBR is one that we had mentioned in the chat before. I think that has to do with the nuclear play, and it's nice little pullback off of this. So you can see the strength there, trying to hold in that 1050 pullback. How's NNE on a day like today, pulling back to the 2005? SMR also pulling back, so not looking as strong as the Qs are. Qs are still looking, holding that 9 EMA. Did do a down attempt there, almost broke, and then just came right back. So I think you're back and forth right now in the market. You're getting some chop. Let's see if it determines towards 1030. Right now, it's not doing much. Could still make that down attempt there, and the Qs all of a sudden come right back down. So I think that you're getting a little bit of some chop there. Google trying to hold that 169.50s, but could be coming down here now that it's just not being able to hold on. VXX trying to recover here, so could go for another trade there in the VXX here any second. First action down here, coming back in the Qs, but it's not big, right? It's just a little bit. That's why I'm not trying to jump too much. Earlier, I jumped after we got a quick move towards like 495, 90s here, and the VIX is there, right? It has that ability. Now we have what? We've had 1, 2, 3. This would be kind of that fourth area where if it wants to break down, it comes really quickly to 52. Other than that, recoveries back through 52.30s could start bringing some momentum back into the name. Looking around out there, guys, trying to take a look to see what's making a move, where the cash is, right? Let me know, guys. What are you guys trading out there? All right, seeing GLYC as the smaller name that's making a huge move today. This thing was at 40 cents, now just rocketed to 50 cents. So big move there in GLYC. It's a biotech. And of course, we've been seeing some of these make a quick move today. So who knows where this one can go? Nothing that I know of right now, but hey, it's moving. PFIE, looking around. BKYI already back down to 130. Q's making that up approach, pulled back, held that 9, but now has held that 9, what? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So it should get the breakout above here through the Bollinger Band and expanding above. We'll see if we get it. Back down below the 496 is the sign of concern for me. What's going on with DJ T? I don't know. We'll see, man. GLYC, good mention in the chat there. Meta is one to kind of take a look at. We'll see if that can continue. Disney's one that's on the upside. I kind of like this chart. I've been watching it a little bit on the daily, and it's been holding well. It could make a move there towards 97.25. We'll see what happens there in Disney. This one looks like an interesting one on a swing trade. We'll see what happens for the swings. Lucy, I'm home. Lucy trying to turn things around a little bit. We'll see if that actually gets the motor going. I've talked about how it really needs to get moving, right? I think I would only look at this if it started to come back towards, like, let's say 960 and really showing some strength. I don't even want to play it down here. I want to play it once it gets back above VWAP, really. LIXT coming down. Nothing really much holding on right now. AREB also slowing down there. So these small cap names not doing well. Q's now looking like they want to break here. So here's my shot here for the VIX. It's up towards 5230. So I got to determine if that's where I want to come after. It doesn't look bad at all, right? This could easily get the spike. Google's starting to come back down there. Tesla is starting to break a little bit even further. It's at 260s. It doesn't look great there. So looking around to see what else could go red here. Technology's in the green. Healthcare's in the green. Red is energy, utilities, and cyclicals. Industrials coming down a little bit today. XLL back up here. We'll see if it starts to make a move to the downside. Deer's holding well, though, and Cat's holding well. So that's actually holding the market up here. In the recent hour, 15 minutes is another thing to kind of think about. This is what I also tend to look at sometimes. In the last hour, what's doing well? Healthcare is up 0.1. Healthcare and technology up 0.1. What's leading the action is energy, basic materials back, and industrials. So basic materials, we've talked about silver being a play maybe today. $8 held well there. Silver's doing pretty good here, guys. Steel doing pretty good today. Steel Dynamics looks interesting. Cleveland Cliff. We'll see if that makes another move up there. Energy bouncing back today. Nothing that I really like there. Some defensive names bouncing back. Technology still looks kind of heavy here. Toll Brothers coming back up here this morning. We got some negative news in the real estate space. So silver, yeah, SLV up pretty good amount. So silver is a good name to watch right now. Gold maybe recovering a little bit here. GLYC pulling back to that 50-cent spot. We'll look to see if it gets a next lift there. Q's recovering now, guys. So it's still holding in, and I feel like this is very important. The market can just continue grinding up higher. We did hold one VWAP pullback, but let's see what happens in the next candle. All right, guys, taking a moment here, taking a second to go ahead and reassess, right? Take a second. Sometimes for me, it's very important, as I've been really intense for the last hour and a half, to just take a second. Take a deep breath, bitch. Everybody, let's go. In, out, relax. It's just the market that's moving. Let's see what we can come up with, how we can make a little bit more money today. It's been a great day. Want to keep it that way. Just got to stay focused here and keep getting after it. The Qs are continuing time to climb, and that's what the SPY is doing too. The only question is, can we get expansion? We keep getting wicks on the upside. Here comes the Qs struggling on that 496. Could cut down that 496 and really work its way back to 495. That's what I can see here. It says it starts to get a little heavier here. VIX did pull back, now reloading there. So now we could get the action move here. Let's see what happens. 496 is available here. It's starting the downside. I'm going for the long here. I just took the first starter there on the VXX. Looking to add here towards 30. If I can get the add at 30, I'll add there. And then I want to hold right off of like 5220s here. Just looking for the quick move here. Qs, though, did make the up move right back. And it just seems like the fake outs are on the downside right now. So I got to be careful here and getting swept. $52.21s is my risk right now. Looking to see if we can just make the quick move right back down in the Qs, because if not, then it could be upside breakout here in the Qs. And we did wick right back to the upside here. So continuing the strength, that's what I see. Qs trying to break through the 495 or 496.50s. SPY trying to also, so I could get a hard hit here in the VIX. Keeping that in mind here. Now it's trying to go for the upside break. Let's see if the Qs come down fast here and the SPY comes down fast. This is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th time to try to break this 496.50s. Could do it though. There's a break attempt here. You could get a quick wick on here. All right, here's a break to the upside here, and the VIX should come down some here, so I don't want to risk too much here. I'm risking 110. At this point, need to see the Qs actually make a down move here. If not, I'm risking a little bit too much here with the move not actually happening. So here's a little pullback there. I'm risking about 120 here. The Q's trying to make another move to the upside here, and the SPY making a move to the upside. So seeing that action there, cut out there, 135 down there. Now definitely taking a little bit more of that hit there. Tried to make that nice push there. Wasn't able to get it there. So just watching around, guys, not being able to get the bigger move here. And the Q's now making the upside approach. Google going to look good here. But, man, I played this a couple of times here. Can the Q's just ride higher? It's grinding now to 497. So if there's a time to get Google, it's now. So let's see. We're going to go for the last trade here of the day here. It's about 10:30 here. Really would like to see Google kind of get that push here. So watching for it here. Let's see if we can get it. Will the Qs hold on, man? And it definitely held. Now making an attempt to 497. Let's see if it can really push here. Pullbacks could be back towards that 496 area. Like to see the 496.40s, 496.50s hold here. Google still holding well on the 15-minute candle. You can see it here. Came back, held. Holding well there is Google. Now starting to approach to the upside break. We'll see what happens. Now I see what? 1, 2, 3, 4 times to break the VWAP. Now needs to kind of hold the VWAP here. Looking pretty decent though. All right, guys, I'm taking my shot here on Google. Just went long 400 shares here. Now looking for the 60s to show up. I'm adding here. Nice breakout attempt here. Let's see if we can get this continuation here. Just took a bigger risk here, but taking a shot here. Let's see what happens. If I can get this quick breakout through the 170s, we're going to be looking really good here. Let's go for it. Nice break to the 160s, holding on the 150s right now. Good push on the first action here into the 60s. Can we take the 169.85 and really get going here? Let's go. 169.70s looking good for the breakout here. At this point, got to make sure that I hold kind of break even. Need to get out and get back in if I need to in Google, but looking for the break towards the 170. There's the Qs going to 497.50, so looking great here. Just need to see Google just take off here. Let's go, Google. All right, first action is here, looking good to the upside towards the 169.75. Let's see if we can take it here. Big position here in Google, so just trying to stay with it and focus. 169.75. Can the Qs continue? They're pushing strong. The Qs are pushing. So now it's the chance here, Google. Go and take it. Go take that 170 level. Go take that daily level. Of course, this is the daily level, and the swing traders would love to take a look at something like this. So swing traders, I'm looking at an inverse head and shoulders here, starting to work its way back. What makes me look at this a little bit more? Taking a look at the technology sector overall. If we look at the sector overall, what do we look at? We look like we're approaching the highs and trying to hold pullbacks and approach a breakout to the upside today. So looking really good here on technology overall. And this is why I always focus on this. Also, you want to be taking a look at what? Take a look at what? The industry overall, semiconductors, right on the 9 EMA. So we're looking for that power move here to see if we get it. If not, we could run into a little bit of a wall here. We're trying to push. So right here, it looks really good right now. I think we have a nice strong day into Google's earnings. And then I'm a little bit concerned about the earnings tonight. But over that, I'm just looking at today's action, and today's action still looks pretty decent. We'll see what happens here on Google. It did make that approach, but didn't break out through the 169.85s, which I was looking at. Could pull back to this 56 spot here, which I'll be 2 cents down. Got to keep watch here. Want to hold off the 169.50s really, and looking for that 170 break. So got an attempt there. Just need to start actually getting it to close above the 169.85s. That's going to be the strong continuation sign. All right, here some risk here, guys. So definitely still getting a little bit of a hit there. Want to see the 150s hold here, getting the risk down, right back down as the Qs take a hard hit on the downside. Got to be careful here. Went down to the 45s, now trying to recover the 50s here. Let's see if it can recover, but the Qs went down fast there, man. That's a tough candle there. Pulling back almost about $1 in like maybe 2 minutes here, guys. So got to be able to get out if I need to here. And it's really testing me here on Google now. Qs coming down fast there. And what a wicked move there by the Qs. They were looking like breakout city. Now it's right back down. And that's simple as it goes, guys. So definitely getting a little bit more risk here in Google than I want. So looking to see if the 40s recover here, but I might just have to get out at the 30s here. It's looking tough on me right now. Q's is dropping too fast here, guys. It's the tough one, man. Tough one to hold because the Q's are pulling back, but could find a little bit of some hold off this 496.50s. At this point, I got to set the risk here. Whew. Not looking good, guys. Man, it was looking like breakout city there, and it just came back in a hurry there on Google. So need to be willing to get out and get back in there. And I should have set the stop there at this 169.50s. I've been trying more and more to be able to get out and get back in. On this one, slow. There it is, getting the risk here now. Q's coming down fast here, guys. Google about to stop me out here. If it stops me out, it's going to be a hit here. 340s. Definitely don't want to get hit there, but at the end of the day, can't risk more than that. 300, 400s are the max risk here. We'll see if we start to get this to come back here, but man, that was a tough one there. I'll tell you that. Quick pullback. It looked all great for the breakout. So let's see what happens here. The Qs were just breaking, and all of a sudden, whap, right back down to this 496.50s. So it needs to recover back through that 9 EMA. And if anything, it doesn't look good, guys. It looks like we might get some downside action move here. So I'm actually going to the limited account here and thinking about taking a shot on the VIX or something like that to maybe at least make some money on the limited account if I can't make it here. VIX trying to get a little bit of a pullback here. All right, I can only get 200. Okay. All right, can only get 200 of the VIX there, maybe 300. Let's see. Yeah, I can get 300, so. Q's starting to get a little bit of a spike back. That's a good sign there. Google holding in, starting to recover, but I'm just watching it here just in case we get a wicked move in the Q's. All right, seeing that downside potential come right back in here. I'm going to take a long here in the limited account, trying to set up here a potential breakdown in the Q's. All right, now going to go ahead and set a stop here on this, about $100, looking for the move right back up there. Maybe make 300, 400 on this account if it does make that type of move here. But now I got to go over to the main account and go protect Google. All right, guys, just protected Google there. I just took off 500 of it. Why? Because I wanted to make sure that if it does come right back down, I'm not losing 300, right? I'm losing 120s and staying in the green today. So just gave myself the ability to see if it comes here for the breakout. But now I'll only lose 40 if it comes down. So just setting up there. We'll see if it makes a move or not. Here comes the Qs back to the upside. All right, let's see what happens here in Google, guys. It's trying to make the move, just not getting it just yet here. Now that's the first action move there, looking decent there. VIX trying to hold on the pullback right now. We'll see what happens in the market, guys. Setting up here for different trades, and we'll see what happens. I think right now I'm seeing them back and forth, and there's a little chop in the market for sure. The Qs are trying to hold, and they've been bullish all day, but it seems like when we get these moves down, they're quick and wicked. So just keep that in mind. GLYC starting to come back down. A lot of these smaller names not being able to hold on today. Lucy, I'm home. Lucy's not doing anything right now. There comes Google for the move there. Now it's starting to get to the 70s, so looking a lot better there. I think it's just still back and forth, though. It's not just taking off through the 169.85s, and that's why I'm not just adding just yet, guys, because I need to see it move through that 170. If it really is going to break out, it's going to get a nice daily move through that 170, so I'm watching for it right now. I don't want to add until I see that 170 show up, and then I'm going to go for the add again, and then I got to just start trying to hold on, right? And so we'll see if we actually get that breakout in Google. It's back and forth type of day today. And there's a down attempt there in the VIX as the Qs go back to the highs. And it could stop me out on the VIX and then start to come back up. But I think that that's one thing that I definitely need to be protecting here, that it should run now and not even come back here towards the 158s or the 169.58s. So at this point, I just got to hold really tight and look for it to run. All right, there, set the stop there. Only $7.50 there on the risk here for Google now. Got to go over to the limited account. Going to go focus on that to see how it's trading here. And of course, if Google just takes off, well, then I can just go cut this VXX trade. I think I'm going to get that approach right now. So just got to keep watch to see what happens here. Will the Qs come right back down? Or will they keep going through the 498? Q's going for it now. Looks like they want to break out here, and this is the last bet here, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and probably cut out of this other trade here in the limited account as the Q's kind of take off here. Yeah, I'm going to look to get out here. $84 is the risk. We'll see what happens there. I think I'll get hit on that. We'll see if Lucy can come back later in the day. That's one that I'll take on the limited account, but that's back through 9 when it starts to really rip. Right now, I don't like it at all. And these smaller names are not holding on today. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Like BKYI, it's already back down to 120s. Google going for the move here. Will I get it? You can see the bunch up there. It's definitely setting up for it, but not taking it right now. All right, here comes to the 80s. Now we're starting to really make that approach here. There's the 90s, 169.90s, looking good. Google going for the 170 move. Can we get it? Had a good day already, guys. Got to keep battling. I did take a hit there about 52, 60, 135. So if there's one thing I see there, I see about what, 200 there on the downside. So let's see if we can get that back here at the minimum. If not, look for that nice $300, $400 trade here. Not looking for anything massive now, as the market is slowing down a little bit there. And look at the Qs just turn right when you get to the top, right when you get to that breakout spot. So that's why I didn't want to add a little bit too early here, looking for that expansion back up. But if the Google doesn't want to do it today, well, it might not want to, right? I'm looking for a run into the earnings, right? And so it could run all day into that. So it's held pretty well on the 15-minute here. Let's see if it takes the 170 finally and really gets moving here. Now, one thing to note is that you could break out here towards that 170 and then pull back here towards the trend line, which is going to be 169.70 or somewhere in that area. So I do want to keep that in mind. I will be looking for around 169.85s to hold now on pullbacks. But if it comes back to that trend line approach, kind of makes sense, right? Here's that 169.99, 170. We've talked about this for so long. Does Google really want 200? Find out right here, guys. All right, we'll see what else is out there. Smash the like. What's the anticipated move for Google tonight? 10.2. Ooh, a lot of action there. A lot of action. All right, 170 starting to really hold here for Google. It's looking for like it wants a break here. Let's see if it wants to do the break or not. Qs could pull back right back down here, guys. So I think that that's one thing you keep in mind here. We'll look to see what happens. Can we get some more expansion in Google? Look at the Qs just start to come down a little bit here. And so this is what I'm a little bit concerned about. Limited account took the hit. Nope, we're still in it. We're still in it on the limited account. So we'll see what happens here. Now Google trying to make that break. 170.05 now holding in there. Google taking the lead now towards 140s. Let's go. Let's go. I want to add, but I don't want to ruin my average now at this point. And definitely, yeah, I wish I could have had the 800 shares back, right? Because this is now, what, double, triple of this. Well, it'd be about double that. It'd be in the 300s. Looking for that nice push there through that 170.11s. Let's go. All right, continuing on the top end of the Bollinger Band. Now let's looking for expansion. Looking for this Bollinger Bands to keep expanding. And if anything, the price action staying actually above the Bollinger Band is what I'll be looking for, like it did here, where you got a nice little breakout. Let's see if we can get that on Google, where you get to just push there. It goes 170.25 and really starts to approach the upside. And just as I say that, I see the Qs pulling back here, pulling back. So I think at this point, I got to determine, do I just want to take the little bit of money and run, or just leave this break even and look to see if I can make some more on the day? So I'm going to go ahead and just be break even on this. If it stops me out, it stops me out. I got a 0 tick there, 169.58 already pressed there. We'll see if it goes to the next level. Just to give perspective, right, where the next level can be. I'm looking at the hourly resistance, puts it closer towards 170.56. Could even take that level towards 171, which wouldn't be a bad trade at all. That's a $400 trade. So let's see if it goes back there towards 170.50. That's going to be the first outlook here, and we'll look to see if it really makes a move towards 171 and 172 today. All right, guys, stop is set there. So no matter what, I will win on the day and be green. So, hey, you guys see it on the screen. Not a bad trade overall, not a bad day, and definitely some battles and some tickets, right? I battled with Google today, and I think I was playing it the right way, guys, which is getting in, out, and just playing it right here. It was a little bit fishy. I will say that. A little bit tough for me to handle that downside action move here. Should have cut out, got back in it, just to be kind of transparent like always. PDD triple bottom curling up, doesn't look too bad. We'll see if it starts to make the move up. OPTX, man, that might have been my first ripper that I traded, guys. Kevin, I haven't heard that name in forever. OPTX, man, I don't want to trade it anymore because that thing did me already good. We'll see what happens here. Now Google really pushing now. 170.20s came up there. 120, 170, 21. Looking good, guys. Google starting to push. The Qs are pushing. That's probably going to hit my limited account here. There it is. It's not. Oh, it's still hanging in there. That tells me more and more that I might need to take the profits in Google, because the Qs just keep kind of coming back. They're trying to break out, but then they come back. That's the hard part there. We'll look to see if it just continues to grind higher here. Google making the move now. 170.20, 170.25. Can we keep it moving? Let's go. Let's get to 200. All right, guys, at this point, I want to make sure that I at least make some money. So once I get to like 170.30s, I'm going to throw out this 169.90s as pullback, making sure that I'm at least taking $100 in profits and going back deeper into the green. Looking for a nice win, but at the same time, not going to push the levels. Always got to make the cash. That's what I'm here for. All right, 170.30s coming up here. Let's see if we can get it there. There's 170.30s. Come on, get it up there. Q's slowing up a little bit there, but we'll keep it working. All right, there's a little bit of a hard pullback. We'll look to see if it gets that next move here, but the Q's slowing down a little bit there. Looking to see if Google can just keep leading it, guys. All right, right now, no action through that 170.30, 170.26, guys. It's 10:43. Going to be wrapping up in just about 10, 15 minutes here. There's a pullback to 170s. It tried to get that next move and couldn't do it. So a little part of me is about to take the 170s and just run, but doesn't look too bad. Let's see if it just continues here. I just want to see continued up rip here. If not, going to take the money and run here. I think we're coming back for the 170 test. So 170 can easily go through this 169.90. So I got to determine here at 170 or just holding off the 169.90s. All right, nice little pullback. 90 EMA held there. Let's see if it goes right back up towards 170.30s. Up there towards 171 is what I'm really looking at. Would love to see this hold the 170 pullback. So there's 170.15 as it starts to approach it here. I'm going to drop the stop at 170 just to make sure that at least at that point, we're just trying to work into the green. All right, SPY and Q's trying to chomp around. I'm looking around out there trying to make that money today, guys. What's going on out there, traders? It's going to be an interesting day after the bells. There's so many stocks reporting, right? You got AMD that's going to be reporting. So many stocks that are going to be getting that lift there. So let's see what happens there. Where can the profits go to? Let's see if we can get a nice push through that 170.30s. Going to 171 is really what I'm looking at. That's a nice expansion, right? So we'll see if we get it there. If not, might just come and take the money at 170. There's the market turning around a little bit there. Now the pullback coming a little bit more intense here. I'm going to take probably the money and run at 170 here, guys. If I get hit at 170, so be it. I'm going to be having set up here to take the money. Let's see what happens there. If I do get hit, 127 in the green there. Looking for the bigger move. But the truth is, guys, I gotta watch the Qs. The Qs did that hard move down. Definitely don't want to lose the profits in this. All right, seeing a little bit of an up move in the Qs, so I'm giving myself a couple more pennies here off the 169.98s just to give it a chance here. If I see 170.20s, I can cancel this, then try to give it the chance to break out. But the Qs slowing up there, 497.50s. That's the level where it keeps running into a little bit of some battle. There she is, another battle, 147, 497.50s, struggling there. There's an up approach into Qs. Let's see what happens here. All right, getting that pullback here. Going to probably get hit here on the pullback and get out of it. Qs could still hold, but I'll tell you one thing. Just got to take that money at some point. Let's see if it holds this 170 and doesn't even come back below it. I know so many people are watching that 170. That's why I'm willing to like kind of take the shot here and see what happens. There's the Qs trying to go for the upside move. Still hasn't done it. So I might give myself a little bit of room here towards 169.93s just to see if the Qs want to make the move back up. And there's a down attempt. So expecting it to hit here. There's the pullback. It holds that 170. Can we get the next ramp up? Let's see it here. And then I'll just drag it with it, right? So the idea here is to keep making more money and move the stop loss, not even the target profit. There it is, got hit there, took the money, only a 105 on that hit there as the Qs look like they want to break down, but could still recover the 9 EMA. I just get to the point where it just gets a little bit too fishy for me. And there's the recovery there, back through the 170.02. Could see this run higher, right? Could see this keep going. I can use the money that I just made to get back into the trade and risk it if I want to, right? The idea here is the Qs. What are the Qs doing? All right, going to the limited account here as I'm still in this, guys. So I got to take a look at this to determine how am I going to go about this. If the Qs make a hard down move, do I want to add here? Do I want to hold here? I think I just got to watch out. All right, $48 of risk now. Not much risk there. Looking to see if the VIX is going to take off here. See if the Google keeps going to the upside. That would stop out my VIX trade. But the Q's starting to pull back a little bit here. We'll see if it does do a little bit of a pullback. Kind of a rounding top action right now. So rounding tops are a negative thing, and you can see it there. Rounding topping action. Let's see if it gets back above that, or does it make a 496 VWAP attempt? Ion Q, baby, falling down and fast. That thing just keeps falling like a rock. Now 16, so definitely a quick pullback on that name. Lucy continuing on the way down? Yeah. Lucy continuing right now. Q's recovering a little bit there. Just risked a little bit more in the limited account to 54 now because the Q's made an up move but didn't really break out. So gave myself a shot to get through one more little bounce there. We'll see if the Q's just take that up move and just continue to just grind higher. It's been grinding all day, and Google's going to be one to watch, guys. It's back up there, 170.12. Could just keep going, right? So nice recovery of that 170 today, though. Really did like it. Now it'll be all about the report. Maybe with the report, we're looking at Google tomorrow, and it's up there to 190. There's no reason why it can't make that move, right? And so the only thing that concerns me about Google is the search data and how that's going, because it could be a tough move there in the search data for a little while now. Of course, this has to do with more ChatGPT concerns and things like that. All right, seeing that downside come in for the VIX. They're trying to cut me out here, but the Q's still like kind of just chomping around a little bit there. We'll see if we, for some reason, get a quick spike to 52.50 in the VIX. All right, seeing that downside come in here. We'll see what happens. Definitely seeing the risk there. The Q's still coming down, though. Still not making that breakout above the 498s. All right, Q's. This is side where you want to go, man. It's just chomping right now, guys. So it's just going to stay chomping right now in between this. And you can see it on the 15-minute. You're still just holding well. Not pulling back much on the 15-minute, but we are slowing down a little bit. That gives the potential actually for the upside here to continue going, but just stair-stepping on the 9 EMA. Once we really undercut the 9 EMA, that's where it gets concerning, like it did here on this 496.50. You can see you just undercut the 9 and recovered it. Upside approach here for the Qs to 498. Let's see if we get it there. And it fails again. 1, 2, 3, 4 times to try to get towards 498. Google holding well, 170.17. Got out of that bad boy, but maybe a little too early. Tesla continuing down, 260s. That doesn't look good at all there. Ford down, 1036. GM down. GM was a good short today out the gates, guys. Qs look like they want to continue back up here. What's up out there, traders? How we doing? TJT, man, I can't handle that trade. Can't handle that trade, guys. That's a tough one. VIX trying to break to the upside here. Or not the VIX, the Qs trying to break to the upside here. 497.70s could break through that. Google holding well, guys. So yeah, probably sold Google a little early, guys. Can you get back in it, trying to scalp it higher? But I think I'm just done for the day, guys. It was a good push, good day, good battle. Not a bad day at all. There it is. There's the hit there on the VIX there for the limited account. Google going higher, so Q's holding well. Apple is another one that I wanted to look at for the up move here. It's actually still looking decent. Still hasn't really made an up breakout towards the 234s. Could go there through that 234s, maybe 235, 236 available at the end of the day. That's what I'd be watching for on Apple. Pfizer down she goes. Couldn't hold on, couldn't come back. Lilly holding on. That one's actually doing a little better. The VIX just got me out, so of course now the VIX starting to come back. We'll see what happens towards the end of the day. I think you just got to watch to see what happens in the Qs. The Qs are just stair stepping, but could flush down at any moment. Microsoft running into the earnings. That looks good there. All right, not much now. Big slow down on me, guys. I'm looking around at the smaller names. LIXT getting a little bounce there. And down she goes, right back down. Looks like she's trying to reload here off of 2. There's not much there, though. LIXT trying to recover but can't. Failing that recovery there. UPXI, guys. Oh no. The UPXI is moving, guys. Has this already moved 10%? Yeah, it's moved 10% in the last 8 minutes. So I can't grab this, guys, even though it's going to probably hold right here. UPXI, I can't grab it. Can't grab it. I think it was Link that made the move with this last time. UPXI halted there. Link looks interesting, but not much action. UPXI, man. That thing just shot up today. Google now 170.40s, so definitely sold that early. Dane, I see you, man. All over it, team. I love it. I love it, man. Google was a trade today. It was on the playbook. Definitely was looking for the move on 170. Talked about it on Trader TV and how this could get that move above the 170. Looking for the push. This could keep going to 171, 172, and could just keep grinding higher. So I definitely got out of this a little bit early and could get back in it and just try to keep grinding with it. But good move there in Google. Got to just give myself a pat on the back overall. It was a win. It just wasn't as much as I wanted it to. And a big part of that was that scare in the Qs, man, because it put some scare into me. That first hard downside move from the 497 breakout. If that never happened, I'm still probably grinding higher on Google. But hey, it is what it is. Good day overall. Got to give myself a pat on the back. Nice 456 to end the day. Was up there a little bit more earlier. Was trying to push it toward the 1,000. But at least in the green, accounts in the green, and that's all that matters, guys. We'll keep battling. The Qs looking like they want higher here. Good push there, so stay safe out there, traders. Strong action today. Not going to be mad. And even Baba coming back on me. Not mad at it because it's holding the 100. If it can hold that 100, it'll look good. I'm looking for another gap, and that will be into the 105s. We'll see what happens there. Could add on Baba if it gets back there towards 96. Q's going higher. That means Google looking better. That means Apple might be looking good here, as Apple still hasn't made the move. Kind of like it here, guys. I go for a little scalp action here, but definitely looks good there on Apple. Look to see if it takes that next step up here through the 235.50s towards the 234s. We'll see if it does that push there. Watching for this one with Apple Intelligence. Can it get moving now and make a little bit of a push towards the highs? Of course, this one reports on a Thursday, so keep your eyes on that. Definitely a lot of people will be watching. All right, limited account, lost 72. Wanted to take another trade there, but UPXI was a little bit too far away already, so couldn't jump into that trade. Looking around out there, WGS on the radar here for 83.40s. That's actually doing well, but it's a bigger name. Lucy. We'll see if Lucy finally gets moving. It's off the 8 and doesn't want to move at all right now. LTBR holding the 11 pullback, holding pretty well. LIXT was at the $2. I talked about how it looked like someone was trying to load up again on that $2. It does look like someone's trying to get it going, but it really can't because every time it goes to the VWAP, it fails. All right, guys, that's probably going to do it for me. I'm looking at GLYC. That's actually doing not too bad out around the VWAP. Looking around at that, there's a lot of penny stocks out there that are kind of holding in right now. The micro cap names. Those are the ones that we've been seeing. And the one way to look at this is to look at the IWC. So if you look at the IWC, you're looking more into your micro caps and seeing how those are moving. WGS is one of the big names that are moving there. LTBR is on there too. Talkspace. There's a lot of these smaller ones. All right, guys, I'm seeing the Qs now starting to top out a little bit here, turn around a little bit. So we could get a little bit of a pullback here for a little while. But we've known that the Qs have done this attempt and not held. Right, so we'll see what happens here. Now we're starting to see a little bit of some more downside there, but it's not big, right? It's just a pullback. We'll see if we actually get some real downside to come in here. UPXI reopens, goes for the 12 move here. I need to wait for 1 minute for me to even trade this. We'll see what happens. Pull back to 990s is an area that it could pull back to. There's the move for the uphold again there, going for it. We'll see what happens. Can this one get another one started? I'm watching LITX there. It just started off the $2. So I'm looking to see what else can make a move here. All right, we got VFC. That was strong earlier. Now holding the VWAP pullback. Could go back towards 22. Looking around, guys, trying to find another trade here. Blew my first 20,000 eval. We'll come back stronger. Yeah, That's what it's all about, man. And I've been battling in that one too. I haven't done too great in the limited. I've had gotten up there towards like 300 or 400. Need to keep just battling. That's what it's all about here. We'll see if Lucy can get going, right? Lucy's still off that 8. I think a lot of people are watching this. Can Lucy get the motor going? We'll see what happens. Q's now heading to the downside here as we are getting the pullback, but how much of a pullback will we get? I think that's all things to think about. All right, guys, 11:02. I'm getting out of here, guys. You guys stay safe out there. We'll see what happens in Lucy if it does make a move. I'll be watching some trades later in the day, but for right now, I'm not seeing enough to take a swing. I want to take a swing. Trust me, I'm looking all around. Not seeing too much out there. UPXI, yeah, that looks good there. The Q's recovering there, so Google's still holding well there, guys. I hope somebody was still able to nail that Google a little bit higher. Great day for me today, guys. Definitely check me out, of course, on Trader TV. If you guys didn't catch me, it was a great appearance. I want to see more of you guys make it over there. Tuesdays, we start a little later, guys. Why? Because I'm on Trader TV, going live there at 8:45 a.m. Eastern. I want to see you guys back there next week. We'll keep doing it. I'll warn you guys on Monday to go ahead and stay alert towards it. Smash that like, keep battling. If you guys enjoy me trading here, trading live in front of you guys, giving you guys the mindset, giving you guys what plays I see. And of course, like always, here for education, to push you guys forward so that you guys can see how a trader can take a professional approach and really make that cash. We'll see you guys next time. Smash the like. Stay safe out there, traders. We'll see if the market can just grind higher. Google doing really well. I'd be concerned about Google tonight, but right now, looking really good. Of course, like always, with swing trades, you want to focus on sectors and industries. Like I talked about, technology doing well today. It was the daily that I was looking at, and now the intraday chart is looking great too. As the sectors go higher, that's what brings a lot of stocks higher, right? Not just one name. And that's looking really good today in the technology space. We'll look to see some of the bigger names to see if those can hang on right now. Nvidia in the green, Microsoft in the green, Google, one of the leadings to the upside, Meta and TSM also making really good moves, and so is Salesforce. So we'll see what happens there in technology. Stay safe out there, traders. I'll be back tomorrow. Like always, hey, another day, another battle, and victory today. Let's go.